Cellular by design is made for the macro network and how it's built out for scale across large geographic regions. And, historically, the big operators, AT&T included, especially domestically, have had strong networks. You add into that what we've done with the advent of FirstNet, really making it, contractually obligated for us to have 99.99% of the country covered for the first responders. And as we've done that, we've continued to enhance our public 5G and LTE networks at scale, deploying more spectrum, more fiber, and everything it takes to kind of get that out. But at the same time, as you're looking at the car companies that we work with, our transportation partners in different industries, they're asking for more than just a regular connection. Right? They need more throughput. That's obvious. They're also looking at next generation applications from automotive driving to platooning to better connections through the supply chain for their vehicles and their fleets, right? So that's imperative that we're not only looking at how the network builds, but also how the construct comes together to converge. And you've heard me say this a few times in the past, right? How does the application and the network converge together to drive that next generation of experience that these companies and their customers are frankly starting to ask for more and more every day. Some of the big ones that first come to mind, right? The first one, obviously GM, our relationship there is massive, multi-year for their connected cars and their fleet that's rolling off the line. But at the same time, we're trying to impact that experience from the point that SEM's put in the module inside the factory line, right? Looking at it from an inside out topology, making sure that the life of that widget, that experience, whether it's the worker that's in there that's working and putting that machine together, or the machine putting the machine together, right, can interact safely with the environment around it. At the same time, as soon as that unit gets put in the vehicle, when and ready, they can light that thing up, start pulling down the updates that it needs so that vehicle, when it rolls off the line or gets ready to roll out, is ready to go. At the same time, now from a supply chain perspective, they're going to move it from the factory to the dealership. And we want to make sure that dealership is a microcosm of the macro world, right? So that next generation of updates comes down as well. When we think about that, we're looking at it from an end-to-end perspective, right? Not just on what's in the vehicle and what's going to drive the experience in the vehicle, but how that vehicle interacts with the rest of the world around it in terms of new smart city applications that are starting to come online. And you think about the things we talk about with our relationships now with JBGS, National Landing, Amazon 2, the car relationship with the SIM in it, all of that begins to blend together to create that next generation of experience. Similar situation with our partners at Ford, again, two competitors, but they have a lot of things in mind in terms of how they want to drive a better experience, ultimately for customers like you and I, right, that are going to be looking for vehicles and really pushing the experience. At the same time, when you think about it ecosystem-wise, and I kind of hinted at that smart city look, it's imperative that we're also looking at how the edge will play into that, right? And how that the network, the cloud, the device, which in this case is in the vehicle, all talk to one another, right? So that everybody's safer, has better experience, and begin to move things from packets to people to shipping, et cetera, in a very safe and experiential way that today we're beginning to push, and our partners in GM and others are really pushing us to think about not only right now, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years from now, and how's the world going to look, and how do we build today to impact tomorrow? First and foremost, right, the adoption of what I would say normal 5G is an evolution of LTE, right? So the capacity, speeds, feeds, and a map that you can think about, stable states, right? Everybody knows the value in that from a macro perspective. But now as we've moved out of LTE and software-defined networking has taken shape in cellular, new spectrum options have taken shape, not only new spectrum, but new ways to operate spectrum have started to take shape. It's created an opportunity, some of which we don't know yet in terms of how that opportunity is going to look. That's the true beauty of why adopt 5G. It's not the speeds, feeds, and the map. That's here. It's not going anywhere. Table stakes, that's going to continue there. But how we do the next piece of this gets really interesting. And it takes an ecosystem play. It takes, the customer giving us ideas more beyond just, hey, here's the speeds and feeds I need, but also how does the application react? How does the experience react? Good news of cellular becoming more software defined is you can do more with it. But like any software, if it's not user defined, you may not get the experience you want on the other side. So as we continue to think about, why is it important to go to 5G? Is it important for everybody? Yeah, we're going to go there. But these advanced features, these advanced setups that we're trying to get to and make happen require us working together so that we can reach the true potential of this converged architecture that, all of us are hearing about, talking about, and we're starting to see it come together in labs. We're starting to see it to come together in small pockets. But now how do we scale it, right? And how do we look at some of these environments that we've put together with our different partners in research? When you think about Texas A&M, you think about smart cities like Northern Virginia, and how can they play in and help our partners feel like that they can have real live environments to go test these things, not just theory anymore. And that's where we get this next generation of adoption, is being able to take and test some of these in real space in real time.